Hey, what's up everybody? It's Drew, better known as RockChalk01, and today I am continuing my series of ranking every single Pixar film from worst to best based on a tier list. This time we're going to look at the B tier films, and there are 7 B tier films. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Coming in last place of B tier, I have A Bug's Life. Now, this is Pixar's second animated film in its catalog, and it was pretty good. I liked the story. The story was really good. Randy Newman singing "What a Bug" is probably the worst part of the movie, and that's at the end. Flick is an interesting main character to be behind, and all the other circus bugs are really good in their mindsets as well. Hopper as a villain, really good. There's some flaws in it with the animation, but other than that, this is a really good film. So, unfortunately, it is at the bottom of B tier, but it's not that bad of a movie. Coming in 6th place of B tier, I have Toy Story 4. This film isn't that bad. I would say it is the worst out of the Toy Story franchise, but it's not a bad movie. The story is alright. The villains kind of brought this thing down a little bit because I don't like the stealing of somebody's voice box to be a good story arc for a villain. I think it's kind of, in a way, murder, because basically they can't speak. So you're murdering their ability to speak, so that's why it ruins it. Other than that, I think the character developments for Woody and Buzz in this kind of fall flat. Especially Woody's, his fell flat. But other than that, the story's pretty good, the music is awesome, and yeah, so unfortunately it is towards the bottom of B tier, but it's still a pretty good movie. Starting the top 5, in 5th place of B tier, I have Inside Out. Now, I know some people are going to be a little bit mad about this, of where it's at, but it's not a bad film. It's a really good film. The characters, the emotions, I should say, are really good. I think they're pretty good. Joy, sadness, anger, disgust, and fear. Disgust I'm a little iffy on, but I think I got 4 out of the 5 pretty much right. But joy and sadness, their character development's awesome. I love it. They're really good. And the story is a pretty interesting one. There is some arcs of it that kind of fall flat, but other than that, it's a really good film. So that's why it's here in the top 5 of B tier. Coming in 4th place of B tier, I have Incredibles 2. This one fit the bill of the sequel never being quite as good as the original, but it wasn't that bad. All the characters that were in the first one, except for Syndrome, are pretty much back. I think the story arc kind of fell flat in this. Mr. Incredible's character development is pretty good. Jack finally getting and receiving his powers fully is perfect. Also, I didn't know this, but Dash's voice actor is different. And it kind of gave me a little bit of a shock. But other than that, it's a good sequel, but it doesn't live up to the hype of the original Incredibles. So that's why Incredibles 2 is in 4th place of B tier. In 3rd place of B tier, I have Coco. Now, I know I'm going to get a little bit of hate for this, but having the villain be, rightly announced at the very end of the movie to all the people stinks. I don't like it. Other than that, the story of him trying to find a family member who's got, the angel voice of God and all that stuff in a way, and that's how he gets into music. I like that. And also, I love the soundtrack. This thing carries it. I'm surprised it's a Pixar film because this should honestly have been a Disney animated feature film. But Pixar, their first musical, pretty good. I liked it. So that's why it's here in the top 3 of B tier. In 2nd place of B tier, I have Toy Story 2. The weakest of the original Toy Story trilogy. This is where Woody breaks his arm and has to get it repaired because he's going to get sold and all that stuff. And Al is a big, fat, bully type of person because he basically stole Woody. That's the part that fell flat for me. And then Mr. Prospector is the villain. He sucks as a villain. Other than that, the story of Woody trying to get back to Annie's place, and him trying not to be like thought of as garbage because of his arm ripping. I love it. And the soundtrack to this was pretty good too. The characters were awesome. We get introduced to Jessie. I love her introduction and Bullseye's introduction. It was spot on. So that's why Toy Story 2 is number 2 in B tier. Coming in first place of B tier, I've got WALL-E. Yeah, the one major setback that I have about this film, and that's the only negative about this, is voice acting. I think having just the major and minimal sounds, I could do this job. And I'm not even a voice actor. Until the very end when the humans get in and then that part, that's fine. But when it comes to the robots, I could do that job. That's the one thing I have a little bit of setback. But other than that, the story, awesome. Characters, superb. Just the voice acting stunk, in my opinion. So, it's a good film. But if it wasn't for voice acting being my major flaw, this would have been an A tier film. So that's why it's here at the top of B tier. And that is going to do it for my ranking of B tier films. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Also, leave a like, share, and subscribe, and push that notification bell. The next video, we're going to go over A tier films. And there are only 4 of them, so yeah, it's going to be very short. So, until then, have a good day. Never ever bring exotic dancers to the field house, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace. Alexa, shut up.